Hello, welcome to the local weather update. It is almost 10 o'clock on the 22nd of May, and yeah, lots and lots of smoke. As you see there on that satellite loop there, lots of smoke. Got a few cumulus clouds earlier on, but other than that, lots and lots of thick smoke in the sky today. Very hazy, some of the worst I've ever seen it. And we'll start off showing you what it looked like outside. We're going to show you that first. This is what it looked like in the afternoon. That's the sun there. It was not very bright at all. I have a whole video of it to show you what it was like out there. But you can see that sun is not very bright, barely enough to even cast any shadows at all. Another picture of the sun right there. And again, you can see just milky, just a white sky there. There's the sun again. Very, very dim. And then it got even dimmer as the day went on. This is what it looked like around 6:30 this evening. Sun got oranger as I headed over to Massapequa Preserve to look at the sunset, and this is what the sunset looked like here. The sun pretty much actually disappeared before it even reached the horizon. Just dim orange sun right there, and as it got lower and lower, it got dimmer and dimmer. That's what it looked like we got later on, and even later. You could see the sun just barely visible there, just casting a very dim shadow there on the lake. And then as we go even further along here, this is what it looked like as we get further along here. And you can see that sun, just a dim red sun there. Incredible. In fact, the sun was so dim that I was actually able to take some close-up shots with my longer zoom camera. And look at the sun. That's the sun right there. And you can see there are actually some sunspots. One here and a whole line of them over here facing the Earth. So we're going to have to watch for some solar activity again. The sun has been a lot more active lately. You can see there's the sunspot right there. Incredible. It's the first time I've actually been able to actually look at sunspots with the camera and actually take a picture of the sun with sunspots. That's how dim the sun was, because normally the sun is just too bright for the camera to expose down enough to actually see sunspots. But there you go. That's how the sun looked this evening. Just incredible. Apocalyptic looking, to tell you the truth. And I have a whole video about showing you what it was like out there. But that's all the smoke right there. You can clearly see across the area. And we're going to go and look at the loop of this right now. Again, it just barely gets a mention. They did bring it up in the weather in News 12, but they barely bring it up, and they don't act very serious about it at all, which, again, is just pathetic. So let's go to the, we'll go to the full CONUS view so we can get a whole look at smoke here. As you can see, there's the smoke. It's all over the pretty much the northern part of the country there, and it's drifting all the way up to the northeast, and we've got plenty more of that smoke to go, as you see, and we're going to take a couple of loops here of looking at a couple of loops here of what's going on with the smoke. The good news is it's raining. It looks like there's rain occurring over much of these areas where the fires are occurring, so that's very good. I see a lot of puffy white clouds, which means rain. Maybe some heavy rain, too, as a result, which would be very good for them. Let's look at the, I'm wondering if we can let me go to GLM flash intensity and see if we don't get this on here. We don't get that, I guess, on here. It doesn't give us that. Interesting. All right, let's see. Maybe it'll give us, it does give us in the Canyon northern video. So let's see. There are some thunderstorms here, so there is some heavy rain. The worry, of course, is that thunderstorms could start more fires, of course. That's always the concern. But you can see, let's put this into a longer loops here so you can see, again, all that smoke that has made its way across the whole country here. It's made its way all the way from here, all the way down here. You'll notice clear air in eastern Canada here, and we'll have to see if we can get into that. However, I think there's so much smoke in the north there that it looks like there's even more up here. So, yeah, there's a lot of smoke around. The whole globe is filled with this stuff. It's unbelievable. It's going pretty much around the whole world at this point. So let's go to the MODIS satellite. Look again at the smoke. And you can see very visible. It looks like there's even thicker smoke off to those. So I'm more we're going to see even more of it tomorrow, perhaps. Than today, though I can't imagine it being any worse, but it could actually be worse because at least we didn't smell it at the surface. You can see plenty of smoke right there. The good news is it's raining over there, and there is some clear air in eastern Canada. But we'll have to see if that that actually gets here. That almost looks like that could be a wildfire in eastern Canada. You have to watch out now for wildfires in eastern Canada. But anyway, let's go to our weather map, our observations right now, and you'll see temperatures generally are in the mid-50s today. Definitely was cooler than yesterday with an onshore flow. So we had east-southeast winds pretty much all day, kept temperatures below normal. Well, we still got up into the low 70s, so still close to normal, I guess. But that onshore wind definitely helped cool things off, especially if you were on the south shore. Other than that, showing clear, but not really. Not really clear at all out there. So let's go look at the highs for the day. You can see the easterly winds pretty much across the area there. So let's go for the highs across the area. And I think we have pretty uniform highs. Well, let's see. Not quite. We have, all right, so generally low to mid-70s. It actually got up to 77. I mean, I don't know if it got that warm here. I think 73 would be more like it. I think 73, generally low 70s, maybe some mid-70s as you head toward the city, and, of course, in New Jersey. Mid-70s there, too. So that easterly wind kind of, you'd have to go way inland for things to be warmer, like almost into western New Jersey, where it could be close to 80. But other than that, let's go to the lows. And West Hampton got down to 48. Otherwise, the rest of us were in the mid-50s for lows. Around 50, mid-40s, and some radiational cooling, I guess. Let's look at the climate statistics here. Let's see if the Weather Service brought up the smoke here. Actually, say this is a backdoor cold front. It has stalled along western Long Island. This may kick up a few. So there was actually a backdoor front. So it says here the smoke is making its presence known on the GOES 16 satellite imagery. It created a wild sunset last night, but again, not too much talk about the smoke. I mean, it's the biggest deal right now. All right, it should be the number one thing they're talking about, but that's not. So, looking at islip right now, actually 4 degrees above normal for the day. Even though it felt cool, at least in the afternoon, we had a decent breeze, but we did reach 74. Normal high 70 at islip. That's 4 degrees above normal, and we're 4 degrees above normal for the day. Let's see Central Park. Central Park was close to normal, but islip was above normal despite the east wind, which is kind of interesting. It's quite interesting, to say the least. But anyway, let's go now to the models, and I guess, let's go start off with the smoke again. So this is the latest RAP smoke model, and you'll see we'll be dealing with more smoke tomorrow. So here we go. See that just continuing, that smoke just continuing to be pretty much present over our area there. And you can see, though, that there is a little bit of a push there. This is the cooler air that's going to try to build down, and I'm wondering if that might give us a break. Let's look at I can go back to the 15Z run, which we know the 15Z run is a longer run of this model. So let's look at that, and this will take us a little more through tomorrow and Wednesday. Perhaps, I think this will. This is 23rd, so this is tomorrow, and 24th, this is Wednesday. You can see Wednesday could be pretty bad, but you notice that there is a bit of a push of more cleaner air, perhaps, that will come down from eastern Canada. We'll have to see if that actually verifies, but maybe we'll get a little bit of a break from the smoke and the haze as we get toward the later part of the week. So let's go to the models now, and obviously we have the GFS here, high pressure in control. You can see high pressure over the northeast there. This is a system that they're watching, believe it or not. If we go to the NHC here, if we go to the Hurricane Center, it doesn't say, it doesn't have anything. News 12 brought this up that they were watching something, but I'm not getting anything over here. But this is something that could be a potential tropical low over there. High pressure stays over us. Then you see this cold front come on through here. This is going to bring in cooler air and another high pressure from eastern Canada. And this will hopefully maybe protect us for the weekend, keeping this low over the southeast and keeping us dry for at least Saturday and maybe even Sunday and Monday too. And then that low kind of just evaporates, as you see there. And I wonder if the Euro is still holding on to having this thing right up the coast. So let's see. Well, this isn't going to go far enough up. Looks like the Euro is now looking like the GFS now. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the Euro is keeping it to the south, too. So it's the good news. It looks like the weekend should be okay now. At least right now, that's what it's looking like. So let's go. I'm stuck at the 12Z GFS now. I want to go to the 18Z. All right, what's going on here? Let's fix this. Just refresh this page. Just let's try it again. It got all messed up. Oh, okay. So we only have the 18. We only have the 12Z GF. Huh. That's weird. I thought we'd have another run. All right, so we're looking at the 12Z GFS. I don't know what happened to the 18Z GFS, but there's the front, and that would be our next slight chance of rain. But other than that, it looks pretty dry, and that looks like a pretty big high that's going to be coming down. So let's start with the HRRR here, and obviously precipitation. I don't think we see any. We'll run this through here, and you can see nothing really going on. There's that high. Keeping us dry. And this cold front would be the next possible chance of a shower or thunderstorm here. This would be, again, probably late Wednesday night with this cold front coming through. Right now we have a backdoor front. So we have easterly winds, east-southeast winds. That continues tomorrow, and easterly flow tomorrow. Again, not that dry, but, not that humid either. And you'll see, same thing for Wednesday. We stay with the easterly winds. Here comes the front here. So with that easterly flow, I can't imagine it getting that warm on the island. But again, interior areas can warm up, I guess. So lows tonight probably in the upper 40s. And then tomorrow, similar to today temperature-wise, I think very similar. Maybe a touch cooler, but generally low 70s for highs. At night, temperatures drop back a little more tomorrow night. It looks like it must have a little more cooling. Maybe because there's a little more dry air bleeding in with upper 40s. And then for Wednesday, be a little bit warmer inland, I think, maybe 75 to 80, but I think most of Long Island, the warmest gets us to mid-70s. Yeah, and you can see there's that cold front right there. So let's go to the GFS now and move this along and watch this cold front progress here. So we'll go to the dew points here first, all right? So looking at the GFS, you see cold front comes through, winds shift to the north, and they get kind of breezy. Dew points drop quite low in the 30s. This is, cool air coming from far up north. And then we have dew points generally in the 30s for into Friday there with some cooler air. And then we stay Saturday. We have, again, that probably an easterly flow. And you can see the system kind of just stuck off to the south. So showing a westerly flow, which is kind of interesting. With a system like this, you'd think this would be more of an easterly flow. But whatever, that flow should keep us dry. That moist air kind of stays away for much of the weekend until maybe we get to it Monday. But other than that will be Memorial Day itself. But other than that, so looking at the GFS, here comes the cold front. You can see, look at that. Look at the difference in temperatures. South of the cold front, you're in the 70s. North of it, you're in the 40s. And then by Thursday, we have highs only possibly struggling to reach 70, upper 60s generally speaking. And cool again on Friday, probably upper 60s to low 70s. And then we start to warm it up on Saturday and Sunday with that southerly flow. But still, it's an onshore flow, so it should be a sea breeze. But inland could be warmer. But again, that's a ways off. So let's go to the skies next. Obviously, this isn't going to factor the smoke. All right. This is just looking at cloud cover. All right. Tomorrow, I think we'll have a few more clouds, especially earlier on. Dissipate toward the evening. Wednesday, we'll probably have cirrus around. GFS seems to think that. And then Thursday, we can maybe push the cirrus to the south. If not Thursday, we can push it off to the south on Friday. Because you see there's a storm there. So that's the issue. But it should keep most of the clouds should stay to the south, I would think. RGIM, again, this is the GFS. It's a lower resolution model. Looking at tomorrow here, you see there are some high clouds around. But you can see there's a few high clouds around. But the smoke's going to be pretty bad. You're not going to be able to make out the clouds because there's so much smoke in the sky. I mean, I could barely make out the cumulus in the sky today. Wednesday, probably a lot of sun, but again, hazy sun with a lot of smoke. And then this front comes through, and the question is, how far can we get this front before we maybe clear it out or not? That's the question. That's, like I said, that's kind of ways away. But we'll have to see if this front can clear out the smoke or not. That remains to be seen at this point. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update, or should I say local weather update. But have a good night. And again, the smoke's going to be with us tomorrow. It's going to be with us on Wednesday. maybe some relief on Thursday, but that's kind of far off. We may not see any relief until those fires are out, so or under control right now. At least they're getting some rain up there, so hopefully we can at least see eventually, maybe see blue skies again sometime, maybe by June. But right now it's looking pretty hazy. Have a good night.